Hello.
Drew, in the Kansas City game, there were a couple throws that looked like your receivers did one thing, you threw it to another area, was off by a little bit. Is that communication just you need more time? That'll correct itself when you have more time with these guys?
I remember one, and it was the pick that got called back. But no, that'll just come with us being on the same page, just growing with each other every single game. That was our first. That was a really, really big test for us on the road, and I think we learned a lot from it and grew as a unit. It's upsetting when you lose a game, but you can definitely grow and become a better unit from a loss and learning from, some hard times, which I think, I know if I know the guys in the locker room, that's what we did after this game. We didn't lull. We didn't, sit back and, feel sorry for ourselves. I think we wanted to come in and learn and be better for this week.
Do you see these last two games as a chance to prove, hey, I'm the guy going into the offseason?
There's always that thought process. I think if I'm doing that, it's just to prove to the guys on the field around me. I'm confident and, feel like I am the guy for the job. But that's not just sitting there in my head. My biggest goal is obviously to win this game and be able to be ready, know my game plan, and go into this week, as confident as possible and, see how it turns out on Sunday.
Drew, granted that this loss will mean a lot for your progression, does it mean best for you to maybe have the Chiefs game kind of be a burn the tape kind of game? Is that work best for you? Is it kind of it'll be the outlier in these 5 games that you will play in this season?
No, I don't think it's a burn the tape kind of deal. If you're a Q and you're burning the tape, then you're. I don't know how good of an attribute or a trait that is of yours. You got to be able to go back and look at it and see the things that you did wrong and try to correct them in games ahead. So I'll definitely keep that one in the back of my head, especially going in the next year, going back and reflecting on that game. I think it'll do wonders for me more than right now. I know, but I think down the line I'll respect that game and know that it helped me hopefully win more down the road.
In a way, can that almost be more valuable because you know what worked, but you need to kind of build on what didn't work?
Yeah, we had 2 games that worked. We won both of those games, and we rolled a little bit on offense. And, we had a certain defense thrown at us. We saw things that worked a little bit. We saw things that didn't work to where we can come in, play a team like that again, go into a little different mindset, know how to attack it. And, I think it was good for us to see and good for us to feel, defeat a little bit and see how we bounce back from it.
Is it a relief for you to have that one behind you now with how much extra stuff there was behind the scenes?
Yeah, I guess so. There was the whole, you're going home deal. I know, and now the second time I go back there, no one's really going to care anymore. So that will be nice. But no, I didn't try to let that affect me throughout the week. But, you still definitely hear everything. But, no, I wouldn't say it had too much to do with it on how that game turned
Joe
out.
Flacco on IR, but he's been traveling with you. How has it been interaction with you since you've been the starter?
Yeah, it's been super important to me. I think just for one, last week, talking to him about how to play in the snow. Being up in Baltimore, super cold, played in a couple snow games, giving me a couple valuable tips on, footwork coming out of it, get out there on the field, definitely wear your spikes out there, start running around, do your play action stuff to feel how you're going to be able to come out of it and, work the balls, how to, get ready within, the snow being on the ball, being a little wet, just the whole ordeal with that. And then even the Chiefs defense, he played him at the beginning of the year to be able to talk to him and see what he saw and, try to take more from him, as much as you can from him and the film. It was nice to be able to have both and kind of have a good feeling going into that game.
What was your reaction to see that Courtland did not make the Pro Bowl yesterday?
Yeah, it's upsetting. You've seen a guy work super duper hard and make amazing plays, spectacular catches out on the field. I definitely think he deserves to be one of those guys, without a doubt. And I think at the same time, he'll use this as motivation to, end up on it, possibly next year.
But you pride yourself on being a gunslinger. That's kind of your identity.
Mm-hmm.
How are you learning kind of that idea of taking chances and taking care of the ball, that balance?
Yeah, I think, the 3 picks I've thrown, I've definitely learned something from each of them to be able to take into next year. I think that one was an easy case of, let's just scramble for 5 yards and, get out of bounds, stop the clock, instead of, trying to get it all back in one play. I think that was the big thing. Let's not, you're down by a couple scores. You got to X amount of minutes left in the fourth quarter. We don't need it all back right now. Like, let's figure out how to actually get the score instead of making the risky plays and possibly having to turn out bad, which is, what happened with mine. To where I think if I get put in that next situation like that, I'll completely handle it differently.
In terms of your playing relationship with Courtland Sutton, I mean, are you feeling like you're just dipping the toes in the water in that? And what's the ultimate potential for, like you said, a guy who probably should have gone to pro?
Yeah, no, I think the potential for him on this field with, the style offense we run, with the weapons that we're going to have around him, and, hopefully me delivering the ball to him for a long time, I think, he can be one of the best to ever play. But at the same time, there's a lot of work that's going to come with that. And I think we're just, like you said, starting to dip the toes in the water a little bit, and seeing, feeling each other out. But no, there's a lot of potential for us to be super good together.
Drew, what is it that's different for you in a week coming off of a loss or a stinker like that game, as opposed to coming off a great game?
Technically, I don't think there should be any difference. You might have gained more followers on Instagram than one week than the other, but no, you better have the same mindset after a loss that you would after a win. Can't be too high, can't be too low. Got to keep it pretty neutral to where you can come in this week, and like I said earlier, just dive into your game plan, be as ready as you can be going into this week, because it's a new week. Every given Sunday, the whole shebang. A team can come in here and whip up on you like we did last week, or we can come in and play a really good game and hopefully whip up on them.
Drew,
Guys, time for a few more for Drew.
I know 3 games isn't the largest sample size to start your pro career thus far, but what are maybe the 1 or 2 things that you think you need to improve on the most in these last 2?
I think it's got to go back to taking care of the ball, limiting the turnovers that I supply or I do for the offense. I need to take care of the ball, go back to the points I learned about the 3 picks before, and really take that into these games and realize certain situation, manage the situations better, to just try to become, a really good pro within these first 5 games. But at the same time, I won't beat myself up too hard if, I end up making a mistake like that, because we talked about it. I'm going to keep the gunslinger mentality at all time, but, I think I need to gunslinger, adapt, a little bit of situational awareness, and put them both together to try to be the best quarterback I can for this organization. But if, it's not perfect after 5 games, then I'm going to be able to live with myself and know that, there's still some learning moments to take in.
What does
Drew,
it
what are you
mean?
seeing from the Lions?
From the Lions, I think the hardest thing about them right now is, with a couple injuries, you don't necessarily know how, exactly how they're going to play. You can go into games and, they're going to run this coverage and this coverage, do this on 2nd down, do this on 3rd down. They've changed it up throughout the year to where they're going to give us, multiple looks. You can't game plan for every single look you're going to get. You can't get out here and get reps against this coverage, that coverage, and all the 5 different coverages you might see for a play. So I think just being ready off the film, being ready to, attack whatever they throw at us, and, maybe make some in-game adjustments and, middle of first, into the first quarter to, combat what they end up throwing at us.
To you,
Last one here, Zach.
what does it mean to be a gunslinger?
What does it mean to be a gunslinger? It's kind of like being a 3-point shooter. I mean, you could start the game off 0 for 5, but I'm definitely going to shoot the 6th one. I'm going to throw a couple picks here and there, but in my heart and in my gut, I know that a couple picks will turn into a couple touchdowns, and the good plays will outweigh the bad with being a gunslinger if you do it correctly. So that's kind of what it means.
All right. Thanks, Drew. Thank you, guys.